Today I'm going to speak with you about something that happens to all of us, which is receiving a traffic ticket. You know, we get pulled over for all kinds of reasons, speeding, improper lane usage, and it's one of the worst feelings to have when you see those police lights behind you and you know that they want to stop you for some sort of reason. Sometimes you know what it is, sometimes you don't. So always stop when you see those lights in a place that's safe for you to stop at the side of the road, as far away from other traffic so that you're safe and the officer is safe when addressing the situation. Never a good idea to argue with the officer. When you receive the ticket, you might not agree with it or you might want to contest the ticket. And there's a few ways that you can contest the ticket if you want to. One way is through something called an informal hearing. An informal hearing is a court procedure that takes place before a magistrate or a judge, and that's an opportunity for you to tell your side of the story, the police officer to tell his side of the story, and for the magistrate or the judge to decide whether or not the traffic offense occurred. In most instances when you have an informal hearing, you really don't have a great chance of success. And the reason for it is that the judge or magistrate sees that police officer every week on different tickets and probably never or hardly ever has seen you before with regard to any kind of issue in life. So, you know, the magistrate or the judge is more likely than not to believe a police officer in their description of the case. So sometimes a police officer at an informal hearing is willing to settle the ticket for something less than what appears on the ticket, but not always. You do have another option when it comes to regular traffic tickets, and that is to have something called a formal hearing. At a formal hearing, you can be represented by a lawyer. You can only be represented by a lawyer for a formal hearing if you hire a lawyer, because for offenses that do not carry jail time, you're not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. And having a lawyer represent you on a traffic ticket can help you in several different ways. One, the lawyer can give you great advice in terms of how to handle the matter. Two, the lawyer that represents you has an opportunity to speak with a prosecutor or a city attorney who represents the government who issued the ticket against you. And there can be negotiations to try and reduce the points on the ticket, or sometimes to even keep the ticket off your record altogether. It's important to keep tickets off your record for a few different reasons. One reason is when you get a ticket on your record, it influences your insurance rates. Your insurance can go sky high when you get a civil infraction, and the points on your ticket causes increased rates, and that's something that none of us want. A second reason why you might want to contest a ticket and have a lawyer do it for you is if your lawyer can keep that ticket off your driving history, it can help you in the future. If you get pulled over again for a different traffic offense, the officer is more likely to give you a break if he sees that you have a clean record than a record that has other offenses on it. There are other types of traffic tickets that are called criminal offenses that require you to go to court. Those are for more serious types of driving infractions, things like drinking and driving, driving without a license, reckless driving, failing to stop at accidents, things like that. And if you get a criminal-related driving ticket, you always have to appear in court. You do have a right to have a lawyer represent you at these type of proceedings. One way you can have a lawyer is you can request a public defender, but that's only if you're indigent, meaning you're poor and you can't afford a lawyer. And it's better if you can hire a lawyer, because if you hire a lawyer, they're more likely to put some time and effort in terms of the defense to help ensure that you get the best result possible under the circumstances. Your lawyer is able, if you're charged with a criminal offense, to get what's called discovery, which is all the evidence that the prosecutor has in their file against you. That would include the ticket, the officer's version of what occurred, witness statements. Your lawyer can even, in many instances, get video from the patrol car that will show, and you can even hear what was said on that particular date when you were stopped by the police officer. Your lawyer will use that information to help develop the best possible defense for you in court, and use that information to either fight your case at a trial, because anytime you're charged with a criminal offense, you're entitled to a trial, which could be a trial in front of a judge or a jury of your peers, where the prosecutor would have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you actually committed the offense that you're charged with. Your lawyer at a trial can call witnesses to testify for you, subpoena witnesses, question thoroughly the witnesses called by the government. You would have a choice at a trial to either be a witness for yourself or remain silent. If you remain silent, that could not be used against you in any kind of way. So your lawyer will make the arguments for you, ask the right questions, and do everything that your lawyer can possibly do to get you the best possible outcome. Sometimes cases, though, are resolved through negotiations. And the benefit of negotiations are that your lawyer is often able to reach what's called a plea bargain, which is a reduction in the charge against you. That reduction will ultimately help you maybe in terms of the penalty imposed, the points, what things appear on your record. And your lawyer can often negotiate with the judge too in terms of what the judge ultimately will do. If it's a criminal offense and you're convicted of it, a judge will have to sentence you, and you want your lawyer to go in strong and give this judge every possible reason to be lenient on your case. So the best way to get the best possible result is to have great legal representation anytime you get a traffic ticket. So if you get a traffic ticket, don't panic. It's not the end of the world. Call me if you have questions. I'll be happy to talk with you about your case. Every case is different, but when you get a traffic ticket, you need great legal representation. I'm here to offer that for you.